So I thought, you know what? Let me call myself the Sunnah Guy.
You encourage people to not show off and do things sincerely for Allah, but you're out there talking to millions. How does that work?
I'm certain that Islam is true. If that's the case, then why the hell am I sitting down? Stand up, scream and shout to the world.
Is everyone supposed to do dawah, or is it only for scholars to do dawah?
Very good question. You have to help those people who are the leaders of the youth da'wah groups. Let's empower them, let's fund them, let's resource them. You are one against a giant. If you hang around with 4 religious people, you'll be the 5th. But if you hang around with 4 idiots, you'll be the 5th. Our solutions are not to build more masajid. Our solutions are not to give more lectures. Those things are great, but the solution lies. Conquer your fears and do something that's different to what you already know. Because when you step outside your comfort zone, that's when you start to grow. I think I rhymed that. Did that rhyme? That did rhyme.
I was just gonna say, this sounds just like you're taking a real.
Allahu Akbar.
Well, you're a famous speaker. I'm a regular person. I can't do anything for the cause of Islam. If someone came to you and told these, what would you tell him?
Bro, what the heck, man? There's a house on fire. The house is on fire. We're all carrying buckets of water. What do we need to do? Help each other. Throw the buckets up. Habibi, wallahi, we do not have time anymore. We do not have time anymore to bicker and fight amongst each other.
Who is Shuaib Hussein? Can you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, sure. My name is Shuaib Hussein, also known as the Sunnah Guy online. I am a father. I'm a business owner, a creative filmmaker who is all of those things. But before any of that, I am a Muslim and I'm a da'i.
Why do you call yourself the Sunnah Guy? Is there a deeper meaning behind that?
When I started the Sunnah Guy, I was taking people for Umrah, doing hijama. I was doing da'wah. I was basically selling Zamzam water. So I was doing all of these things, and all of these things are Sunnah. So I thought, you know what? Let me call myself the Sunnah Guy. So that's what it was.
How did you start your media journey?
I was always doing events for young people, trying to be creative on how we can get them to the masjid. We used to do like water balloon fights, water guns.
I've seen some of those videos, I think, on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, barbecues, playing football, bringing pizza in, stuff like that. Doing all of that stuff then led me to understand that there's a creative way to do da'wah. Packaging needs to be done better. So when COVID hit and all the da'wah activities stopped, I then went into this mode of taking it online. And I just started like that, bro. I said, I need to continue doing the da'wah work, but I need to do it in such a way where the packaging is different. So I started making short films. And I started using nasheed and sounds and just trying to build emotion and stuff like that. So there was all of that involved as well, alhamdulillah. Because I felt that the young Muslims, they want to see something else. They want to see short films. They want to see stuff that's more interesting, more entertaining.
In your videos, you have a different style. That's exactly what I was going to ask. You have a different style than that of most Muslim motivational speakers. You're wearing modern dress. You were wearing watches, sitting in the bank. You're also younger than most. And you don't sound like traditional Muslim speaker too. So what was the strategy behind it?
I did that because if you look like a Muslim, dress like a Muslim, smell like a Muslim, speak like a Muslim, guess who's going to listen to you?
Muslims.
Who needs guidance?
Everyone.
But who needs more guidance?
Non-Muslims.
And non-practicing Muslims. The ones that have some type of guidance. They might pray, they might come to Jummah, they might do these things. They're already in the masjid. They're already on the Islamic algorithm. But guess who's not on the Islamic algorithm? The non-practicing Muslims and the non-Muslims. You with me? So if you dress like them, look like them, talk like them, then they're going to listen.
So why do you do all of this? Why don't you do something else? Why'd you take this dawah path? You could have started your own business in some other way. Why are you here?
Because I know for certain that Islam is true, which means the hellfire is true, which means that people are destined for hell, which means that I have to do something about it. If I stay asleep, if I let people burn in hell, does that make sense? No. So I have to do the thing which is just help save them. Give them what I know. That's it. It's so simple. I don't want to do anything else because this is the most important thing. That's why.
Anything that you could accomplish in this work, you don't see more valuable than what you're doing.
No chance.
Than the dawah.
No chance. There isn't. And I'm happy for anyone to even argue with me on that.
So there doesn't seem to be many names for this cause, basically. You know, when you look at social media, for example, the presence seem to be in the hands of non-Muslims and people who are creating content for dunya, this world. Is that so? Are Muslims less present on the scene?
If you're talking globally, 100%. We are a microcosm in the online world. That's because we often don't understand what the purpose is, what the fight is, what the battle is. It's a battle of hearts and minds. It's a battle of influence. It's a battle of normalization. We are asleep because we are still debating whether it's permissible to be online or not. While what they are doing is they are absolutely killing it in terms of their negative influence. How do we drown that voice out? How do we push back on their momentum?
Bring an alternative?
Yeah, do the same thing but do it better. What we have to do is just put a different packaging, different layer on top and go and deliver it to people.
Well, you motivate people for good.
Yeah.
And you are trying to do a lot of good things. How do you motivate yourself in the first place?
Well, here's the thing, isn't it? I'm certain that Islam is true. If that's the case, then why the hell am I sitting down? Stand up, scream and shout to the world. Find a way so that people resonate with it. Find a way so that it lands with people. Find a way so that it's palatable for people. That's it, bro. There's nothing else to it. Like, subhanAllah, like, why did the Sahaba go for jihad and go and travel the world and spread Islam? They didn't do it because they were interested in more and more land. They wanted to influence more and more people. For what reason? They went on a quest to get people into paradise. That was it. That's why they went. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
This is a challenge-like question.
Okay.
You encourage people to not show off and do things sincerely for Allah in private, but you're out there talking to millions. How does that work? How do you draw the balance between doing something for the sake of Allah purely and not showing off?
Now the reality is that what is out there is 99.9% evil, fahsha. We are 0.01% microcosm amongst all of this evil. You are one against a giant. You need to focus on the giant, but you got a few people clapping. Ooh, well done, well done. What do? Aha, you see me? I'm killing the giant. No, bro, the giant's still in front. He's not dead. Yeah. The giant's in front of you. The mission isn't finished. If I have to stand here, I should focus on the giant and keep my eyes on the giant instead of looking at the people clapping for me. You don't look at them because when there's a giant in front of you, it's just distraction, bro. So don't look at the clapping, but look at the giant because the giant isn't dead yet. If you take your eye off the giant, everything is a distraction because you need to stay focused until the giant's dead. That's how it works.
Your dawah, alhamdulillah, has changed many lives. How has it changed yours? If you were to evaluate Shuaib before dawah and after dawah, how is it different?
It's not da'wah itself. It's what comes with da'wah. It's the branches, doing something different, trying new things, etc. You know, that opens new doors. It does. You know, if you just live within the confinements of what you know, then you will never grow.
Yeah.
I think it's the rule of, you know, taking small risks. When you go out and if you do something different, you develop a new muscle and strength that other people don't because they're too scared to take that risk. Everything you want is being held back by fear. Everything that you want but you can't get or you don't have there's a fear involved, and everything you want lives on the other side of that fear. Conquer your fears and do something that's different to what you already know, because when you step outside your comfort zone, that's when you start to grow. I think I rhymed that. Did that rhyme? That did rhyme.
I was just gonna say, this sounds just like you're taking a real like the ones you're taking on the bank.
Allahu Akbar.
So you're doing Islamic content. Do you study Islamic knowledge on your own too? And if so, what do? Do you read books? Do you listen to lectures?
I listen to lectures, but I used to be a lot more focused on my studies before. I guess I'm in the sprint phase right now, which is I'm sprinting so fast that I do believe that there's going to come a time where I need to start slowing down and I need to basically go and study. I haven't really thrown myself into it like I used to. And those were some of the best days of my life, was when I was studying and seeking knowledge, you know.
Other than knowledge, how do you keep your iman strong? How do you keep your faith strong?
I go for Umrah 2-3 times a year.
Okay.
But I'm around good brothers.
Okay. How does that help?
Bro, subhanAllah, good people striving for the hereafter, bro. It helps a lot. Staying focused, having that good environment is very, very important. I'm also, you know, alhamdulillah, like I said, I have my routine. In there, I have things that help me. So there's that. And I guess also, you know, there's worship that you do, etc. There's things like that, bro, that really help, you know. Alhamdulillah. That's what I say.
So we all have that struggle as Muslims to keep our faith strong, right? So what would you recommend to others then about how they could keep their faith strong?
I'd say the main thing is be around the right people.
Okay.
Be around people who love Allah and His Messenger. Be around people who want goodness for the world, for each other. That's what I'd say. When you can change your company, then you'll change your life. If you hang around with 4 jokers, you'll be the 5th. If you hang around with 4 confident people, you'll be the 5th. If you hang around with 4 wealthy people, you'll be the 5th. If you hang around with 4 religious people, you'll be the 5th. But if you hang around with 4 idiots, you'll be the 5th.
I like that.
Your circle says a lot about who you are. And if I was to find out what your future is, I'd ask you to show me who your friends are. The voices you hear around you are voices that will consistently play in your mind when you're not around them. So be very, very careful which voices you allow to enter your life.
How does a day of your life pass?
I wake up normally quite early. Obviously, I start my day with Fajr. I pray Fajr. And then I would wake up. I would do stretches and I would have my coffee. And then I take it nice and slow. I then go to my desk and I read my Quran. And then I check my emails, my messages. I catch up on whatever messages I can. And then I begin deep work. So I work for a good couple of hours. And then if my wife needs me to do something or whatever, etc., I'll do that. I'll be in and I normally have my meetings from like 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m. And then at 1 p.m., my wife will make me some food. I'll have that food, etc. And then I'll just be working on my various projects, whether I need to record a video or script something, blah, 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 whatever. There's various things, various tasks. No one day is the same. And then basically around about 6 o'clock, I'd normally go for like 1.5K jog. I'll do some calisthenics, maybe have a little snack or something. I'd play with my kids. That's something that I need to improve on. But I would like to kind of pray more salahs in the masjid and stuff like that. And then inshallah, just kind of wrapping up, going to sleep.
What would you say to someone who claimed that Islam is strict or harsh?
I'd say it's not strict or harsh. Are you comparing Islam to a lifestyle of haram, of vices? Allah says in the Quran, have you not seen the one who takes his desires as his God? Then Allah says that they are like cattle. No, they are worse than cattle. بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ سَبِيلًا. No, they are worse than cattle because a cow grazes. It doesn't care about the danger. It doesn't care about what's coming out there. It grazes, and then it goes there and it grazes, and then it goes there and it does poo, and then it goes there, then it procreates, and then it goes there, then it grazes. Bro, is that life? Gratifying all of your desires, fulfilling all of your desires, living aimlessly? Is that what life is? Well, absolutely. If you compare Islam to that type of a lifestyle, of course it's going to be strict. Of course it's going to have restrictions. Of course you're not going to be able to do certain things that you want to do. Why? Because when you have that comparison, you're always going to see this as a way of liberty and freedom. But the reality is that you're being shackled by your desires. You can't go 2-3 hours without listening to music. You can't go a night without watching pornography. You can't go a weekend without drinking alcohol. So what are you? You are actually a slave. And if you're a slave, you think you're free, but you're not free. You are actually a slave to those desires. What Islam does is that it liberates you from those desires by giving your submission and slavery to the one who created you. In return, he will give you a paradise with him for eternity. So of course it's going to sound strict if you don't have the bigger picture in mind.
In one perspective, if you look at it from the perspective of an animalistic desires, it is strict. Limits your animalistic
100%.
desires to
100%.
some extent. But is it a bad thing? Like, are rules bad thing?
Ask governments, are rules bad things? Rules are good. Humans want rules, by the way. Humans want boundaries. Humans want restrictions. Why? Because when there isn't, there's chaos. Look at the people without rules in their life. Everyone now is trying to find rules. Oh, morning routine, wake up, meditate, gratitude, journal. Bro, people are trying to give themselves rules, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then says in the Quran, what do they have a book? Do they have a book which they are extracting all of this from? They have no right to legislate anything except Allah. Who has the right to legislate except Allah? You know? Fact of the matter is that people are looking in today's world for structure. They're looking for anchorage. They're looking for pillars. Everyone is. The fact that your favorite modern day liberal self-help author is telling you every day I wake up, I gratitude, I journal, I do this, I stretch, I do this, I recalibrate my frequency and energy and body positivity, and I do all this blah, 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 blah. Bro, everyone's looking for some kind of anchorage. Everyone's looking for pillars. Everyone's looking for purpose. Everyone's looking for meaning.
Strictness.
They're looking for something. They don't, because they know that animalistic desires is not the way to live your life. They know this not. Because people want rules. People need rules. Human beings love rules inherently. We love to live by a code. But the problem is that we do not package Islam in the best way to present that as a code of life. Our packaging is incorrect. Aisha radiallahu anha said, if the first evidences that came down were halal and haram, don't commit zina, don't drink alcohol, everyone would just commit zina and drink alcohol. No one would listen. But the first thing is the bigger picture. So what we have to do is try and enter their hearts through the bigger picture of hellfire, paradise, Allah, the Day of Judgment, the purpose of life, the bigger picture, and then present the rules later, once their hearts are firm.
Do you think social media is a good thing or a bad thing?
I say it's a net negative, always. Net negative, 100%.
Wow.
If you're fully zooming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can use it for good.
Right. But now if you start to kind of understand from the Islamic perspective, there is good use for it 100%. You can reach people that you've never been able to reach before, right? So it's how you see it, bro. So it's a net negative globally. But then at the same time, what do? Sit back, complain and whinge and whine? No. Go in and use their own medicine against them. Give them a taste of their own medicine. You with me?
Yeah.
So let's use it for good.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Today, a lot of Muslims are just drawn into Western lifestyle and trends. You know that. They usually just want to fit in their friend group or their community, but they ignore Islamic sensitivity there. They destroy their Islamic identity a lot of the times. Do you know any efficient methods to help these people navigate through? We know that simply saying, don't do this, don't do that, doesn't work. What works then?
A person normalizes that which he observes in his immediate orbit and then takes that upon what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. An example, in his immediate orbit, those people who can directly influence him, if he hears them saying the F word, what does he think that means? It's normal and okay to say the F word. If he sees them swearing and drinking and smoking, what does he think is okay? He thinks it's okay to do all of those things. Now, our objective is to do one thing, and that is to help this person get to paradise, right? But the method in which we help that person is we have to then create a normative culture around him. The problem is these people are his friends. So what do we have to do? We have to help him find friends and who have made the culture normal to pray. You with me? The way we do this is by helping those people who are working directly with young people expand and grow, because they will shift the culture amongst the next generation. Those that are shifting the culture amongst the next generation, our job is to help them grow so that they can have an influence on the society, on the town, on the communities all over the world. I realize giving lectures is good, doing street dawah is good. All of these things are amazing. But the most important thing is to change the culture, because humans will then fall in line and the culture does the heavy lifting because of what people see to be as normal. Now, how do you change the normative culture of the town, the society, the city? You have to help those people who are the leaders of the youth da'wah groups, and you have to empower them, fund them, support them. They will then go change the culture, and a young person who basically is confused or has bad friends or looks up to Western culture is because he respects and likes and he looks up to that, because those are the things that are around him that people are talking about. If your friends are talking about the Quran and Hadith and Allah and the da'wah, guess what? You start talking about Quran and Hadith and da'wah. You start talking about that. But if your friends are talking about haram, girls, guess what you're going to talk about? You're going to talk about that. So the key thing is to influence the culture of your friends. Now, in each city, in each town, in everywhere in the world, there are people that work with young people. We need to pour gasoline on their fire. They got a little fire. We want to pour gasoline on that. Does the truth not deserve more?
Of course.
Does the truth not deserve more financing, more attention?
Not only financing, all sorts of need, all sorts
resources,
of
absolutely.
Open their way.
Is the truth not more deserving of this, bro?
Mm-hmm. Especially in the time of need, especially when there's crisis.
And there is a crisis.
Valuable.
It's an invisible crisis that is happening right now.
It's huge though.
It's huge. It's humongous. The secularism, the liberalism, the Western ideologies, the ideals, the normative culture of the West. It's a disease that's affecting our young people. And what do? Our solutions are not to build more masajid. Our solutions are not to give more lectures. Those things are great, but the solution lies in trying to change the normative culture. How do we do that? How do we change the normative culture? You can do it in your own community. A young person steps up, he goes out, he tries to influence the young people, you build some momentum, you get people around you, you show them love and affection and you connect with them. So what do we need to do? Bring them together. Let's bring all of these youth da'wah leaders who are changing the culture on the ground. Let's pour gasoline on their fire. Let's empower them. Let's fund them. Let's resource them. That's the most efficient way to do it. Wallahi, if I had 5 years left on earth, that's what I'd do. I would do that because that's the fastest way to influence the normative culture of the West. Mm-hmm. The fastest way. Every other method is to a degree tamed. Here's how you have to see it. There's a house on fire. The house is on fire. We're all carrying buckets of water. What do we need to do? Help each other. Throw the buckets up. Maybe you know how to throw the bucket better. I learned from you. But imagine if you have the best technique on how to throw the water and you keep it to yourself. You're like, no. If I show him how to throw this bucket, he's gonna, bro, what the heck, man? The house is on fire. If you know how to throw the bucket and show him how to throw the bucket. Why are you keeping it to yourself? وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوا. If you don't do what they're doing, the disbelievers come together. They're supporters of each other. If you don't do what they're doing, you need to do. Allah is telling you to do what they do. Make sure that the house that is on fire, you free that house. You make sure that house gets put off. That's why it's important to come together to work, to support each other, to talk to each other, to help each other. Habibi, wallahi, we do not have time anymore. We do not have time anymore to bicker and fight amongst each other, because people are running into the hellfire. And the thing is that our next generation is running into the hellfire head first. They just don't know it, bro. And we have to do something about that. You know,
whatever it takes,
bro. If those people that have tawheed in their heart, those people that have the awareness of taqwa in their heart, those people who are wakeful Muslims, it becomes incumbent upon us to find methods, to innovate, to learn, to be proactive, to search. We shouldn't just put on an event and that's it. What are the ways we can do this? How can we make this da'wah job full time?
Yeah.
How can we do this 24/7? How can it be the thing that keeps us awake at night? You with me, bro?
Because on the other side, there are people who are actually full-time. They're so ambitious, trying it.
They are full-time, bro. They are overtime. And look at us. Does the truth not deserve better?
Of course.
You with me? I love these questions, by the way.
I think these are the questions that should be talked about.
100%, man. I love it, bro.
Jazakallah. Is everyone supposed to do da'wah, or is it only for scholars to do da'wah?
Very good question. I don't think it's for everyone to do da'wah online. But da'wah, yeah, when you become a wakeful Muslim and you have at least some type of foundations, what did the Prophet ﷺ say? بَلِّغُوا أَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Convey from me even if it's just one verse.
Is da'wah only through words?
No, it's through words, it's through action, it's through presence, it's through influence, it's through soft power. There's so many different ways to do da'wah, right? But remember what the objective is. You can do da'wah by creating a poster for an event. You can do da'wah by holding a camera. Da'wah is all encompassing, helping one objective, and that objective is get people to paradise, take them out of hell.
All sorts of needs in this da'wah.
Exactly.
Just how do one get into it though?
We need to create a culture where getting involved in da'wah is something that's normal. We need to also remove this thing that being a da'i in the spotlight is the only way to, only route to glory. We don't need to make everyone in the spotlight, bro. But we need to create a culture where doing da'wah is normal. Why? Yeah. Because it's the job of the prophets. Not everyone's Khalid bin Walid, that they go out and they defeat the enemy. Sometimes you have to be an Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Sometimes you have to be a Zayd bin Harith. Sometimes you have to be a Hassan bin Thabit. Sometimes you have to be like Abu Huraira. Everyone's got their job. Everyone's got their role. Some people have to lead from the front. Some people have to lead from the back. But we can all get involved. We can all do something, you know?
But first, what is the first thing that one needs to do da'wah?
The most important thing that a person needs is a connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to establish their own foundations of knowledge. Understand tawheed. They need to be able to get a good understanding of what the religion requires from them, the basic fundamentals, understanding things that what nullifies their iman, understanding things, the basic principles of what you need to be a Muslim, what you need to do to make wudu and pray salah and all of these things, etc. You shouldn't give da'wah on day one. Of course not. Because at the end of the day, you can't invite people to something that you're not even doing yourself. You need to be able to have some type of a foundation first. But this is the thing, is all. You should have that mindset that I'm on this trajectory, I'm working, etc. Now, there's two mistakes people make. The first mistake a person makes is they start too quick with da'wah. They haven't got any foundation and they basically just sit there thinking that, okay, how can I make da'wah? How can I make da'wah? But they should be seeking knowledge and understanding, okay? Then the second mistake someone makes is that they sit around and don't do anything except learn the religion and sit in comfort. That's a mindset error. Actually go and be active and to work and strive for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal in spreading His religion so that we can save people from the fire of hell. So once you have a level of understanding, and by the way, these thresholds and these requirements, some people say this is the requirement, some people say that, some scholars say this is the requirement to give da'wah, some scholars say this is the requirement to give da'wah. I'm not here to argue based upon that, and everyone's going to have their difference of opinion. Some people say that you need to be studying and you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that, then you can go out and give da'wah. But the thing is, da'wah could be creating a poster, da'wah could be holding a camera, da'wah could be cleaning up, sweeping the masjid, da'wah could be giving lifts, driving people, doing this, all sorts. That's da'wah. If you're talking about speaking and doing it publicly, that criteria needs to be up here, 100%. But it also doesn't need to be up here, but it also needs to be something that uniquely you can do that the ummah needs. Because if you go to a town which has no imam and no masjid and you're an imam, what's your requirement? What do you need to do?
Build masjid.
Build a masjid, become the imam. If you're the only wakeful Muslim there, the criteria is there, bro. Even if you know Qul huwallahu ahad and there's no Muslim there, go there and establish the masjid and start speaking to the people. Yeah? But if you are amongst a city and a town which has thousands and thousands of Muslims, or you're someone that knows about Islam, bro, get to the back of the queue. Yeah, people give black and white answers all the time when it comes to da'wah, but the reality is that context is so important, right? Because if you go to the Eskimos in the Antarctica and you need to say, no, we need to import our sheikh who needs a qualification, needs to have a Sharia degree from Medina University, and
you can't act.
Brother, we're not going to do anything. We're going to let them burn in hell. Go, ballighu anni walau ayah. Look at the requirement. What do you need to do? Go and save them. Go and help them. But you see, if you're going back into a town where there's millions of Muslims, etc., sometimes you getting involved in doing da'wah may not even be what's required. We've already got 60 imams in one street. Do we need another one? No, do something else. What are you passionate about? What is a skill that you have? What's an interest that you have that is different? Every single imam is talking theory knowledge. Why don't you do practical? Why don't you speak to the young people? Why don't you do something else? Why don't you start a youth night? Why don't you, everything is based on needs, right? So people now, do we need to go online? Do we need to have du'at online? I don't think everyone needs to be a da'i online, bro. I think there are certain people like yourself, like Towards Eternity, like One Path, like Yaqeen, like all of these other organizations who are going to do it properly. I think they're needed. Why? Because they're fighting a battle and doing it properly, bro. I don't think everyone needs to come online and do reaction videos. I don't think that's a need. At the end,
need in other areas.
Absolutely. And what people need more than anything is guidance. They need murabbis, they need elders and mentors. But again, like I said, everything is based on needs. The house is on fire. We're all carrying buckets. The buckets are different shapes, different sizes. Okay? Some people are very, very good at throwing the bucket and they don't even know it. We need to wake these people up. We need to get them in and start throwing the bloody water on the house. Why? Because we need to save the people from inside. Okay? What does that look like? It's something left to the understanding of what the context is. What's going on here? What's going on there? If he gets involved, it might even be a problem for the da'wah, because maybe he may have said something in the past that's wrong. It's better for him to stay away. It's better for him to just give classes. Everyone has different needs. There's not one size fits all. Da'wah is dynamic. Da'wah is different, okay? And we live in an era where we need more guidance on what's needed and what's required of me. It may not always be grabbing the microphone.
So is it like finding the right spot between the needs and what you can offer, your qualities?
This is it, exactly what you just said. Find that sweet spot, find that balance. What is that balance? Figure that out and make dua to Allah to give you ikhlas and sincerity so that you can achieve your objectives of putting the fire out of the house.
What advice would you give for single men? We know that it's a huge problem now. They're constantly surrounded by temptations and it's like trying to swim against a current in this day and age. So what would you recommend to those brothers? How can they not get affected by these dangers, spiritual
What
dangers?
age?
Let's say 20 to 30. Is that too wide of a range?
Way too broad.
Really? So you have a different medicine for all. Let's say 22.
My advice to this type of a person is, if you're struggling spiritually, make sure that is taken care of before anything else. Find the right people around you. Find a tribe and get involved in a project. Be an advocate for a cause that is working to save other people from the hellfire. Go and join a circle of knowledge. Go and build yourself up, especially in this phase when you're single, you have time on your hands. Go and get involved. Go and throw yourself in. Be active. In your personal life, take small calculated risks. Try new things. Set money aside every single month to experiment on a business opportunity. Don't live a mundane life. Try and aspire and have high aspirations. Don't think about what others are doing. Think about what you can do and how you can benefit yourself and benefit others around you. That would be my long and short advice.
You talked about trying something, doing something, work for prevention, to prevent those bad negative influences.
100%. You should 100% be proactive in making sure that, because prevention is better than cure. Try and prevent the negativity from happening. Yeah. Be proactive in that.
Yeah. Well, you're a famous speaker. And I'm a regular person. I can't do anything for the cause of Islam. I don't know any way to do so. If someone came to you and told these, what would you tell him?
You have to experiment and explore. If you sit there and say, I can't, that's a limiting belief. That is a restriction you've put on yourself. And if you keep telling yourself that enough times, you'll believe it. But if you say to yourself, I can, you start to think differently. I don't believe in manifestation, but what I do believe is self-talk is important. What you say to yourself, you live with. The reality is that when you speak and you say, I can or I can't, you're right.
What do you mean?
Whatever you say, you're right. If you say you can't, you're right. If you say you can, you're right. You with me?
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, explore. Okay, cool. I can't design a poster. I can't hold a camera. I can't make announcements. Well, can you drive someone? I can't drive. Then you're stupid. The desire is key. The need is key. The house is burning. The house is on fire. I can't carry the bucket.
Good point.
Brother, do you understand how big this fire is? Everyone needs to be carrying buckets. I can only carry a small bucket. They carry whatever bucket. Hurry up, grab the bucket. You see, when someone says, I can't carry the bucket, what does that mean? That just means that they just don't see that it's that important. They'll find a way, bro. If your mother's burning in that house, imagine you said, I can't carry a bucket. And imagine if everyone was to do that. Everyone would then end up in hellfire. But always, in every community and society, when a project is at far down the line, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, someone made a choice to not sit down.
That's how we are here.
Exactly. Someone made a choice to not stay down. Someone made a choice to get up and move. And when they made those choices, that's why these projects take off. And that's why people are saved from the hellfire. Call me simple, bro, but it's as simple as that.
Doesn't the whole cause of Islam move through that desire? Like throughout the history, actually.
I wouldn't even say
look at the Sahaba and after that.
Wallahi, you're right. Why did the Sahaba go to
via these efforts?
Yeah, why did the Sahaba go, bro? The Sahaba knew that if you pray in Mecca, it's 100,000 rewards. Why are 90% of the companions buried outside of Mecca and Medina? Why? Because they knew if we stay in Mecca and Medina, yeah, we'll pray that, but then other people won't hear about the message. For me, I'll be honest with you, wallahi, whatever anyone says, whatever evidence they give me, whatever proof they come to me with, the Sahaba, the way they thought, I need to think like that. Their understanding of the risala, of the message, is the best understanding. So the fact that the Sahaba didn't go and sit in Mecca, Medina their whole lives is a reason for me not to basically sit and just worship my whole life and that's it. They understood that yes, they would pray at the night prayer before they went out for jihad the next day. It's a combination and a balance, right? That regulates you as a believer. You worship Allah Azza wa Jal. You seek the knowledge. You do what you can, etc. But then what do you do? Outside of that, you make sure that you go and you put this fire out. In Turkey, are there Arab Muslims here? Or are there Turkish Muslims?
Turkish Muslims.
In Pakistan, are there Arab colonies in Pakistan? Or are there Pakistani Muslims?
Pakistanis.
What does that show you?
They willingly became Muslim.
They willingly became Muslim. They went and did their job and then they left. Subhanallah, bro. People willingly accepted Islam. They took over the government. They influenced the government. They didn't butcher or kill people. They went there. They fought for the government. They fought for the country. They went to fight against the Romans, against the Persians. They took over. They had the keys to the city. Then over the next 100 years, people converted to Islam because they influenced the normative culture of the society. They called the adhan out publicly. This is the hikmah, one of the beautiful hikmahs of saying the adhan out publicly. Why? Because they want to show, Muslims want to show that the normal culture is to pray salah. You should all know that the salah is happening. Even if you don't pray, at least you're aware that it's happening. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah. That's why in the salah we say hayya ala salah, hayya ala al-falah. Come for prayer, come for success. The focus is on making the normative culture is optimized in a way for people to copy this and then go to paradise.
So in this age, it seems like there's more like a spiritual fight instead of physical fight. Like
100%.
Wars.
No, it's
it's
a battle of hearts and minds.
So in the Sahaba time, we usually think of it as a physical battle. There's a lot of physical battles, but as far as the story you've told, the fight is actually spiritual. The physical fight only serves the spiritual fight.
This is it. Go and look at what true Islamic history is. Go and look at what the Muslims actually did when they went to these countries, when they went to these places. They settled. Why? Because the purpose, as you said, is all to serve one purpose. لنخرج العباد من عبادة العباد إلى رب العبادة العباد. Rabi'i ibn Amr, he says to Rustum when he goes into his palace, Rustum says, why have you come here, you Muslims? He says, we have come to take the servants away from the worship of each other to the worship of the Creator, from the narrowness of this world to the vastness of this world and the hereafter, from the oppression of religion to the justice of Islam. We're not here for blood. We're not here for money. We're not here for land. You know what we're here for? We are here on a mission of paradise. We are here on a mission of salvation. We're here only to help save people from the fire of hell. This is our objective. This is why we are here. This is why God has put us on this earth. And Umar ibn al-Khattab summarized it best. When they asked him, why are you going to the Romans and Persians? Why are you spreading out? Why are you going to all of these lands? You know what he said? He says, إِنَّ الْأَرْضَ لِلَّهِ يُورِثُهَا مَنْ يَشَاءُ مِنْ عِبَادِي وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. He says, the ayah in the Quran, the earth belongs to Allah. يورثها من يشاء من عباده. He gives it to whomsoever he wills of his servants. والعاقبة للمتقين. And the end is for those with taqwa, those who are righteous. He said, if the earth belongs to Allah, then only Allah's law should be ruled on earth. Like if the whole earth belongs to God, shouldn't God's law be the thing, the norm, the culture, the government? Okay, if that's the case, then we need to go and we need to make sure Allah's law is in there everywhere. Why? It's not to enforce the law. It's to save people from hellfire. That's the objective, bro. It's not to go, you know how we know we don't care about governments? We don't actually care about freaking being in power of the government. Where is the Arabian, Arab, a Thaqafi tribe living in Pakistan? Because it was Muhammad bin Qasim al-Thaqafi from Ta'if, lived near Mecca. He went to Sindh and took over. If it was about land and power, he would have brought all his family, all his clan, all his tribe and taken them all there and settled there and killed all of the Indians and the Pakistanis and killed all of them. And then claimed the government and yeah. But guess what? He went there, they took over the government, they established the masjid, they established Islam, they taught them the religion, and with over 100 years, they left. And the Pakistanis just continued the religion there.
So the method is pure, the intention is pure.
Everything is pure. The problem is we do not know our history. We do not know the true reason why the Sahaba did what they did. And that's why we have to be way more tactical when it comes to our messaging today and how we reach the masses.
What do you dream of when you go to sleep? What's your ultimate goal in life? Is there a thing that if you accomplished it, you would say you would die happily?
Yes.
What is it?
Everyone to be Muslim.
Good enough.
You're not getting a smile from me, bro, because wallahi, that's the truth.
Yeah.
So there is no playing around with that, bro. That's the truth. Obviously, the method to get that, I can expand. I know that's not what you're looking for. If I could see that in action, it would to be that Islam is a normative culture and praying and practicing Islam and adherence to the religion is a normative culture, within the West. That's what I'd say. But doing it in such a way where the people willingly, through soft power, through winning the battle of hearts and minds. You with me, bro?
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
That's it, Brother Shuaib. Thank you for coming. We carry the same concerns with you. And a lot of the things you said, I could relate for myself, for what we are doing here, for our cause. Because it's the same cause.
Alhamdulillah, amazing.
We are very happy to have you here.
You're most welcome.